Hey, remember when I used to talk about YouTube animators? Those have always been some of my favorite episodes to do, and you guys seem to really like them as well. I just haven't done one in a while. Well, it's time to fix that. And over the last year, one channel in the animation community particularly caught my attention: Tabs. Now, I've known Tabs for probably a couple of years now. Found out about her stuff back when she had a little over 150k subs, met her at VidCon, and all that jazz. She makes fantastic content, is a wildly talented artist, and is probably the only animated storyteller who gets away with swearing regularly. But despite already being a well-established channel in the animation scene, something happened last year, and Tabs' channel just went crazy overnight. And that got me wondering, how did Tabs get started in the first place, and how'd she get to where she is now? Well, with the help of Tabs herself, I got the whole dang story, and I'm gonna tell it. So, hello and welcome to another episode of A Brief History. Today's episode, Tabs. Ready, set, go. Alright, so basics first. For those of you who don't know, Tabs is an animated Storytime YouTuber. But of course, before all that, Tabs started out as an aspiring artist. Drawing always seemed to be her passion, whether it was smearing toothpaste on the wall as a kid, doodling in class, or practicing her illustration skills in her free time. Plus, she of course loved cartoons and had tons of favorite artists that influenced her work as she got older. Drawing was just all Tabs wanted to do growing up. But unfortunately, as often happens when your kid's about to become an adult and wants to pursue art, Tabs' dad wasn't exactly sold, and instead tried to get Tabs to join the freaking military. Which, I mean, Tabs was fine with at first. After all, nothing wrong with joining the military. She was even in a military program in high school. But in her own words, not mine, Tabs was a, quote, really petty kid. And even though she still had and still has an interest in the military, once the idea started getting pushed on her, she acted like she never wanted to do it in the first place. So Tabs was now determined to pursue her art even harder than before. Throughout 2016, Tabs really hit the ground running with taking her art online. She set up an Instagram with the goal of posting new illustrations on a nearly daily basis as a way to get her art out there, improve, and potentially garner an audience. But Tabs wanted to do a little more than just post drawings of Pokemon on Instagram. You see, Tabs was also a big YouTube fan. I mean, obviously. Specifically, she was a fan of the animation scene on YouTube. Now, I know it doesn't seem that long ago, but in 2016, the modern YouTube animation community was much smaller and more underground than it is now. The biggest names in the community were still Domix and Swoozy, and the likes of Jaden Animations and the Odd Ones Out were only just starting to rise up the ranks. There were still plenty of animated story channels on YouTube, but most of them were not that old and still finding their footing. The movement was growing, but had not yet broken through, is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, Tabs was no stranger to making YouTube videos. In fact, jumping back in time for a bit, she had two YouTube channels before her current one. Both focused around, of all things, fan-made music videos based on games and TV shows set to what Tabs herself called the YouTube National Anthem. So,
please rise as we present our national colors.
But like, these channels weren't necessarily what you might call serious content, and Tabs wanted to really get into YouTube. So on September 10th, 2015, she set up a new channel called, well, Tabs. The name actually comes from the real word tab, as in like guitar tabs, tablets, web browser tabs. But like, just calling yourself Tabs is gonna make you impossible to Google search, so she added a few letters to help herself stand out. So Tabs was now Tabs. But her new channel wouldn't see any content until April 27th, 2016, when Tabs uploaded her first real YouTube video, artist problems. Inspired by the YouTube animators that I mentioned earlier, this video was an animated Storytime type deal, but on a topic that was not only close to Tabs' heart, but also not something she saw a lot of people talking about at that time. Mix the relatable topic and the passion for what she was making with a simple but effective character avatar and a unique deadpan delivery, and you got yourself a Tabs video. Seriously, Tabs had her own take on the animated storytelling genre down pretty dang quick, and people really liked it. Within a week, Tabs' first video had around 500 views, and people were leaving comments asking her to make more. And that relatively small but overwhelmingly positive response really inspired Tabs. She spent the rest of 2016 refining and improving her content, all the while amassing an audience of 10,000 subscribers by January of 2017. But that same month, Tabs would see her first major bump in audience thanks to her video about teachers. This was kind of a perfect storm of a video. Great topic, interesting stories, Tabs' signature dry humor, and it even came with marshmallows. And because of this, the video managed to reach and resonate with a much wider audience, bringing a lot more traction to Tabs' channel. Within just 2 weeks, her teacher's video had grown to boast nearly 300,000 views, and her sub count had tripled. From there, the ball really got rolling for Tabs. She just kept doing her thing for most of 2017, releasing animated story videos in her signature style, collabing with other animators, and garnering more and more of an audience as the year went on. And if I remember correctly, one of my first major run-ins with a Tabs video was actually around this time. It was her April Fool's video, My Real Voice, with freaking Laddie. That was certainly an unusual introduction.
Tabs. Hi guys, I'm Tabs. I'm gonna eat all of your socks. Except to Laddie.
But anyway, by the end of the year, Tabs had amassed a following of just under 400,000 subscribers and had solidified herself as one of the larger names in the growing animated storytelling community. Heck, even YouTube recognized this, including her alongside Rebecca Parham, Jaden Animations, The Odd Ones Out, and It's Alex Clark in the 2017 YouTube Rewind. Like, love or hate the Rewind, that's a huge deal. And all this before Tabs had even hit 500,000 subscribers. That's a pretty impressive accomplishment. But speaking of which, Tabs did eventually surpass that 500k mark in April of 2018. And for the majority of that year, things kept pretty steady for Tabs. Videos were coming out about once a month, getting great views, and her sub count just kept growing. But by that September, things went totally nuts. And it all started with her video being mute for 3 years. Uploaded on September 1st, 2018, this was a bit of a more personal story for Tabs about her experiences not speaking a single word throughout her entire time in middle school. This story really caught people's attention, and many viewers connected with the experience of being a quiet kid. And because of this, the video totally blew up, currently boasting nearly 9 million views, making it the most viewed video that Tabs has ever made. And of course, with a viral video comes rapid sub growth. And Tabs' sub count skyrocketed immediately after this video was uploaded. At that time, Tabs had around 673,000 subscribers. And legit, by the end of that month, she had jumped all the way to 1 million, nearly doubling her sub count in less than a month. That is insane. These days, Tabs has around 1.3 million subs, her videos bring in at least 2 million views apiece, and through it all, she has continued making exactly what she wants to make in the way she wants to make it. But that's not all. Recently, in February of 2019, Tabs started a webcomic called Paper Crown. It carries over the same art style, character design, and humor that she's known for, but just puts it all into a simpler format that she can put out in between videos. Plus, in our talks for this video, Tabs has said that she already has plans for the next step in her YouTube career. I won't spoil anything, but it'll be pretty cool. Over the last few years, I've watched the animation community grow from a group of like-minded creators helping each other out as they grow their channels to this massive movement that has just taken over YouTube. I might have mentioned this before, but last year at VidCon, the animation community drew some of the biggest crowds I've ever seen. It's become way bigger than I think anyone else in the community anticipated. But even as the scene has grown, I feel like Tabs has maintained a very unique and special place within it. Very few animated storytelling channels really have the same feel as Tabs. Between her humor, personality, art, and general outlook on the stories she tells, everything Tabs does is instantly recognizable as her own, which is super important considering how crowded YouTube is these days. Also, with all the talk of forced positivity on YouTube that was going on a while back, Tabs' more sarcastic and slightly cynical personality is pretty refreshing. Like all the best YouTube channels, Tabs is genuine. She's just being herself no matter what. And that passion and realness comes through in her content and really resonates with people. Tabs has been making YouTube videos for nearly 3 years now. On YouTube, that is somehow both not a very long time and also an eternity. So on one hand, Tabs is only just getting started, but on the other hand, she's been going for years and her most rapid growth only started like 6 months ago. Plus, only 3 years into her career and she's already looking to expand, try new things, and just do whatever she wants. And following your passions, doing what you want, and not giving a crap what other people think about it, that's about as Tabs as you can get. Thanks for watching, guys. DFTBA.
Hey, hi, hello, how you all doing? Thanks for watching this brief history made by the extraordinary Fofi. I just want to send him my blessings right now for all the effort he put into making this. Like, would you believe me if I told you he broke into my house to find my birth certificates and documents? No? Well, thank God you're not a knob. Nonetheless, he still put mad time and research into getting this right. By chance, if I never end up making a Draw My Life, this would be the closest reference you have to it. And finally, don't forget to stay awesome. He said we had to personalize it.